We just heard from federal prosecutors after a federal grand jury in New York returned a sweeping indictment. Pretty shocking, the allegations of corruption and these charges against New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez. He's the chairman of the powerful Foreign Relations Committee. In fact, one of the most powerful offices you could have in Washington. And this is the second corruption indictment in 8 years. His wife, Nadine, is also facing federal charges. Hello, everyone. This is Outnumbered. I'm Kayleigh McEnany. Also joining me today, Fox Business correspondent Jerry Willis. Host of Tomi Lahren is Fearless on Outkick, Tomi Lahren. Restoring America editor for the Washington Examiner and senior fellow for the Independent Women's Forum, Kayleigh McEnany. And former NFL player and co-founder of Mission.com, Chris Valletta, on this busy Friday. The details in the near 40-page indictment are shocking. Prosecutors say the couple took bribes that included cash, gold and payments towards a mortgage, compensation for a low or no-show job, a luxury vehicle, and other things of value. It's like a soap opera, but this is reality. The indictment also revealing that in June of last year, federal agents searched Menendez's New Jersey home and actually found nearly $500,000 in cash. That's a lot. Some was stuffed in envelopes and some hidden in clothing. They also allegedly found over $100,000 worth of gold bars and a Mercedes-Benz convertible for Menendez's wife. Menendez appears to be the first sitting United States senator in history to have been indicted on two unrelated criminal allegations. A 2015 corruption case against him ended in a hung jury in 2017. And Damian Williams, a U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, says the three-term senator used his power and influence on a large scale.
The indictment alleges that between 2018 and 2022, Senator Menendez, the senior U.S. senator from New Jersey and the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and his wife Nadine Menendez, engaged in a corrupt relationship with Hannah, Uribe, and Davies. The indictment alleges that through that relationship, the senator and his wife accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars of bribes in exchange for Senator Menendez using his power and influence to protect and to enrich those businessmen and to benefit the government of Egypt. First, the indictment alleges that Senator Menendez used his power and influence, including his leadership role on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, to benefit the government of Egypt in various ways. Among other actions, Senator Menendez allegedly provided sensitive, non-public U.S. government information to Egyptian officials and otherwise took steps to secretly aid the government of Egypt. Second, the indictment alleges that Senator Menendez used his power and influence to try to disrupt a criminal investigation and prosecution undertaken by the New Jersey Attorney General's office related to an associate and a relative of Uribe. Third, the indictment alleges that Senator Menendez used his power and influence to try to disrupt a federal prosecution of Davies in the District of New Jersey.
The senator strongly denies any wrongdoing and says in a statement, quote, "I have been falsely accused before because I refused to back down to the powers that be, and the people of New Jersey were able to see through the smoke and mirrors and recognize I was innocent. They wrote these charges as they wanted. The facts are not as presented. Prosecutors did that the last time, and look what a trial demonstrates. People should remember that before accepting the prosecutor's version. To my supporters, friends, and the community at large, I ask that you recall the other times the prosecutors got it wrong and that you reserve judgment." Pretty stunning allegations. Let's pull up a picture of that Mercedes that Menendez's wife got. Okay, so if you flip over to page 22, 23 of the indictment, here's what you learn. Uribe, who was this business partner, actually contacted the dealership on behalf of the wife. Then they meet in a parking lot where she receives $15,000 in cash. The next day, Nadine Menendez purchased the Mercedes-Benz convertible, making a $15,000 down payment. How convenient. And then later in the day, Uribe, the business partner, Jerry, says, "Are you happy?" to Nadine, to which she replies, "I will never forget this. These are stunning. I mean, I worked in Washington. If you had something mailed to you and it was over, I think, a $25 limit, you couldn't even take it home unless you paid the vendor more than $25. I believe that was the limit. So the stunning allegation of $15,000 for a down payment on a car.
And of course, that $25 would not have even gotten the senator's attention, right? So this is shocking and amazing. It sounds like part of a Sopranos TV show, right? And I got to say, if these allegations are proven, and they have not yet been, I think you have to ask yourself, what was the secret information that went to the Egyptians? How did it influence our policy? How did it influence Egypt's policy? What happened as a result of the fact that the head of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee was on the payroll, that he could be bought?
Yes.
This is because I don't know if people understand. That's a really important position in Washington.
Absolutely.
It is the contact with governments all over the world. So that's somebody who can make a lot of decisions on behalf of the American people. And he was bought and paid for if the feds are right.
It's incredible. And to the point about the intelligence, that is what is so shocking. You turn to page 9 of this indictment, Chris. Here's what you find. Listen to this paragraph. Menendez and Nadine Menendez again met with Hannah, that was a business partner, on or about May 6, 2018. Later that same day, Menendez sought from the State Department non-public information regarding the number and nationality of persons serving at the U.S. Embassy in Cairo, Egypt. Although this information was not classified, it was deemed highly sensitive because it could pose significant operational security concerns if disclosed to a foreign government or made public. Without telling his professional staff that he was doing so, Menendez texted that sensitive non-public embassy information to his girlfriend. And then we'll skip down to where it says Nadine Menendez forwarded this message to Hannah, who forwarded it to an Egyptian government official. Stunning.
It does not look good at any level, and obviously we have to reserve judgment. You're innocent until proven guilty in this country, but to me this is about the preservation of democratic integrity. Corruption in any form of government, at any level of government, undermines the very essence of the democracy, the founding fathers intended for our country. And this is unbelievable evidence. You've got cash, you've got gold, you've got text messages, you've got cars. Who knows where this is going to unfold? I just hope that we can get to a point in this country where this corruption is rooted out, but then there's a message sent. To me, bribery and helping foreign entities, whether they're friends or foes, is treason of the highest form and should be punished by life in prison. So we'll see where this goes.
Again, all allegations in the indictment. You're exactly right about that. But Kayleigh, in the indictment, this was an interesting part. We'll pop this up. This was on the senator's website while this behavior was happening. Our office cannot compel an agency to act in your favor or expedite your case, overturn or influence matters involving private business, or intervene with judicial issues. It appears if these allegations are true, the website was a load of crock.
Yeah, and I think the best thing that can be said of Bob Menendez at this point is that at least he didn't set up 20 shell companies to hide the fact that he was accepting bribes. I mean, at least he likes bribery the old school way. It's kind of nostalgic almost. Gold bars stuck in a sock drawer. It's bizarre. But I do think it reminds me of something that Gavin Newsom actually said earlier this week, where he was excusing the allegations against the Biden family, but he was saying, influence peddling is hardly unique. Well, apparently that's true if you're a Democrat in Washington. I mean, think about this. Menendez barely escaped an indictment just a few years ago. And according to this indictment, he turned right back around and kept on doing it. And I guarantee you that he did so because he thought that the system would end up protecting him. And maybe that would have been true if his last name had been Biden.
Yeah, it's a great point. He did this having just escaped narrowly another corruption allegation. It's just brazenness. Tommy, Hunter, obviously a separate case. Hunter wasn't working in government, but the allegation, of course, that it was influence peddling, his dad's vice president. There are similarities in that Hunter Biden gets a diamond. Hunter Biden gets money for a sports car. Hunter Biden at Burisma. Hunter Biden with CEFC China. What is it about Washington and the drinking water that people think they can do this stuff?
Well, it's unfortunate this has become a pattern, to your point, and I'm hardly shocked, and that's also really sad. When you hear about government officials being corrupt or possibly being corrupt, I think we all have a little bit of shock and awe, but then we think about it and not really, not so much. But Nadine Menendez here is kind of like the Hunter Biden in the situation, right? I mean, she's the go-between. She's the one that's getting the perks, maybe cutting in 10% for the big guy, the brand, selling the brand. So it's really interesting how this works and how it's so methodical methodical and it is so strategic the way that they plan this out. But I do love the fact that it's gold bars, it's money shoved in clothes. I mean, you have to really believe that you are above the law to accept gold bars and to shove money in clothes in closets. You really have to believe that you're going to get away with it. And unfortunately, the precedent has been set that you might be able to get away with it. So why not go ahead and try?
Wow, it's really stunning. Round 2 of the corruption allegations against Senator Menendez. We will follow it.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.